Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today you're going to learn how to sew a kitchen cloth or a kitchen towel that can hang from your oven. The things you're going to need today are a piece of scrap cotton fabric. Today I'm using this really pretty gray print, which I also used in an Unpaper towel tutorial where I made these Unpaper towels. I will link that video below if you guys want to check that out. So this is going to be kind of a coordinating pattern. You'll have Unpaper towels like I made in the other video, and now we're going to make a kitchen cloth that hangs from your oven, just to keep, kids from pulling it down, or maybe the dog. So you're going to need cotton. You're going to need, I'm using a terry cloth, just a hand towel from my bathroom that I've had for years. It's got a few little bleach spots on it, but I thought, instead of just giving it away or throwing it away, why not reuse it? So I'm going to use that for the kitchen cloth. And then I also have some pins, some scissors, and then I'll just show you guys briefly how I made this template. So to make my template, I just kind of looked at what kind of shape I wanted. So I knew that I wanted my kitchen cloth to hang here down from my oven, and then I knew that I wanted this part to kind of flip over and snap, right? So then I've got my oven handle kind of going through there. So I just kind of made a rough shape. I did get on Pinterest and see what other people had done, and then I just took that idea for myself. So this is a pink piece of cardstock because I like tracing with cardstock, and I've used this quite a few times. But what I did is I basically just got myself a white piece of paper and a pen. Let's use something you guys will be able to see really well. Let's go for this black pen. And I knew that I wanted it to be, I've got a nice little ruler here, so I knew I wanted it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I knew I wanted it to be about 8 inches long, or this way, 8 inches. And then I also knew that it needed to be about 4 inches here, so 4 inches here on the side. And then width-wise, I wanted it, I think this is 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. So I just kind of went through and just roughly made 7.5. So then I kind of took this and I found the center of that 7.5. So let's just lay that out. I don't have a straight edge. We'll use this. So I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And then I just kind of found where the center of that would be. So 3 3¾ Okay, and then and so I know this is my fold line. This is where I want to fold it now. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is kind of what it looks like, and I know I want to fold on this line, so I just kind of went like this. And yes, that was right. Fold it in half. And then I just took a straight edge and a pen, and I know that I want to connect my 8-inch here, right, my 8-inch height to my 4-inch on the side. Hope I'm explaining that well to you guys. If not, you can just kind of look and see what I'm doing. It's not rocket science. And then I just made a line here. I think this marker may have had its day. Okay. And then I just took my scissors, my non-fabric scissors, and I just cut on this line. And then I just cut this paper down here to make that even. Okay, so now I should have a template. So there we go. So, you guys can make this rounded if you want. You can make this come straight across and have more of just like a 2.5-inch piece coming out here that kind of folds down. It's really whatever you guys want to do, but for me, I just liked this shape. Let me show you an old towel. I had to pull this out of my dirty clothes pile, so forgive me, it's just like a little bit dirty. It's got some staining on here from the kitchen, but this is kind of what it looked like. So you can see after washing, it will shrink a little bit. You do want to pre-treat, like get all your fabrics. If you bought cotton fabric from the store, go to your bathtub, rinse it out really good, squeeze it, get any kind of chemical or anything they use in it when they process it, and then wring it out super good, put it in the dryer with a towel, and just let it get really hot. Let it dry really, really well, maybe even like 10 minutes extra, and that will pre-shrink it because it's already, after so many uses, gonna pre-shrink. So you can see it's a little bit smaller than my template because there is a little bit of a seam allowance here that we'll use, but then also when you wash it, it's gonna shrink a little bit. But this works really good. Unless you have like a really large oven handle, this should fit most standard size oven handles, but this is kind of what it looks like. And then I just, you know, put it over my oven handle like this. And then I just snap it and it just sits really nicely there on my oven handle. And that keeps little kids from pulling it off, or maybe the dog comes through and knocks it off, or it's just really nice to keep it from falling on the floor. So that's what mine looks like. That's an old one. So now that we know how to make the template, let's go ahead and jump into the actual project. So I'm going to set the template aside here, and I'm going to grab my fun cotton fabric. So this is what I'm going to use here for this piece, okay? So I know I want to start with the right sides together, and right now the right sides are not together. This is just a big piece of scrap that I have here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this like that so that the right sides are facing each other. What's really nice is this can be a good scrap buster project where maybe you don't have any cotton or you want to use some other material, as long as it's not really stretchy, or you know, if it matches your kitchen, however you want to do it. You could even make it from an old tablecloth if you want, but I really like this because if you have any scraps of fabric laying around that aren't very big, you can go ahead and just kind of, you know, make this template out of whatever it is that you want. So I just lay this on here. And then I'm going to grab my marker, and I'm just going to get that where I want it, and then I'm just going to trace like this. And so the way that this works is that your markings are actually going to be your sew line. So you're not going to sew on the inside of this line. I like to sew, when I do projects, I like to actually make the mark. That's where I sew. That's exactly where my needle should be going down. So now that we have it cut out, we're going to grab our fabric scissors, or whatever scissors you have, and you're just going to go ahead and just kind of get this started. Cutting while you're on camera is just such a weird, it's you know, it's different than if you're just cutting for yourself. You kind of have to get like a good angle in there. I'm just going to come around and cut this. Okay, get the rest of that fabric out of the way. This is starting to shift just a little bit, the two pieces, so I'm just going to go ahead and place a quick pin in there, and that will keep them together. Okay. Okay, so now we have our template. That was pretty simple, right? You know that you have your right sides together, right? There's your pretty sides. So we know that we want to sew starting here, probably at a 3/8 or even a 1/2 inch. If you guys are comfortable, let's just do a 1/2 inch, because that's kind of what most people like to sew at. So we'll start at a 1/2 inch, and we're going to sew from here all the way to the where you would think the corner would be. You're going to stop with the needle down, lift your presser foot, and then you're going to come to this corner, stop with your needle down, lift the presser foot, same on this corner, and then end here. And you want to back stitch on both of these ends. Okay, so now that I've got it up to the machine, I'm going to go ahead and take my pins, and I'm going to place maybe one right here on the side, and then I'm going to place one more here on the other side, just to kind of keep things from shifting. You don't really need to place a lot of pins. We don't have a big project that we're working on here. And then I have this one in the middle that I use to keep it from moving. So go ahead and make sure you have the right foot. Whatever coordinating threads that you want to go with your fabric. Today I'm kind of using an aqua color. And then I'm just going to go ahead and back stitch here, sew all the way around, back stitch, and I'll meet you guys back on the table. Okay, so I've went ahead and cut the corners here just to make it nice for turning. I've cut the threads on each end, so we're going to go ahead and flip it inside out. I just kind of take my thumb, push that top corner out like so. Maybe grab like the marker you were using, or I like to use an orange peel, and I just kind of stick this in here, and I'm not going to be real abrasive on it, but I'm just going to kind of get those corners pushed out, make it nice and flat. And then what we're going to do is grab our iron. And I'm just going to set this down on here. This is just a piece of fabric for video purposes to bring my iron closer. And I'm just gonna give it a nice steam and a good press. And now what you wanna do is you wanna take your bottom here and you wanna turn it in about a 1/2 inch. So what I do is I just kind of grab the edges. It doesn't have to be exact science. I'll kind of get closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of grabbing the outside edges and I'm pushing this in a little bit, and I want to create like a 1/2 inch in there. Do you see that? See how I've kind of created, I've kind of pushed it in, and now it's like that on the other side too. And so I kind of just line this up just by eye. And then I just kind of go like that, give it a little finger press. If the back side needs to be tucked in a little bit more, and I just want to kind of evenly line this up and give it about a 1/2 inch, okay? Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfecto, just get it roughly, and then take your iron again, and you want to iron this seam that you've turned under. Okay, so now we have a nice crisp seam. See that there? Now we've got, you can see this is the side that was turned in here. This is the salvage end, that's the rough edge that is not finished yet, and then the bottom, okay? So you're gonna take that and now you're gonna just set this over here to the side. Now, today I'm using a hand towel, just an old hand towel that had some bleach spots, but you guys can go to Walmart and grab like some kitchen towels and cut those in half to do this, that would work too. So I'm just, and also you could use a washcloth to do this. It doesn't have to be, like I'm gonna cut this in half and use half of this, and that's gonna be for my towel. But if you guys just wanted to use a washcloth, if that's all that you had and you wanted to keep it really simple, that's totally fine too, you can do that. So I'm just gonna fold this in half, hot dog way or long ways. Okay, line that up. And then I'm just gonna kind of guess the center. My fabric scissors, I'm just gonna give it a cut down the middle. Okay, so this one I can use to make another one at a different time. But for right now, so here's the cool thing. This edge, and this edge are already finished because it was already a hand towel, so that's really nice. And then this is our edge that we're gonna fold up really nicely and we're gonna stick into our top piece that we just made here. So what I like to do is kind of set this right here in front of my hand towel that I've just cut in half. Here's the raw salvage end that I just cut, and I know I want to make it this wide. So I just kind of go like this, and I just kind of start playing with it. And I just kind of decide how big I want that to be. And I think I keep it pretty simple. I just want to fold it in. You could even fold it all the way into the center. And then I just, see what I mean here? We're just kind of making it work. So I think that would look really good. If you wanted to put more pleats in it, you could do that. You could even kind of gather it more, you know, so it has like a different look if you wanted all the pleats going the same way. I kind of like the pleats facing in towards each other. That's just my preference. Okay, so then to make this happen, we're gonna take our top fabric that we made here, and this is why I wanted you to give it at least like a 1/2 inch so you have a lot to play with. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and pin this real quick. Just give it a couple pins so that these don't move on me. And I want the head of the pin to be facing on this outside. I want the pin to be going this way, okay? Because if it's going this way, then you're gonna be putting your pins inside and you're not gonna be able to pull them out. So go ahead and take this. We're not getting crazy, we're just trying to do enough just to hold it together. And then I just kind of lift this, and I'm just placing it inside. And I want to bring the hand towel up about a 1/2 inch too, so I can feel it up here. You know, I can feel that it's in there about a 1/2 inch, right? And the back feels really good. I've got that all tucked in. And then I'm going to take this pin out, and I'm going to do it this way, right along the edge. And this is just to secure it, so when we take it to the machine and we do our straight stitch right here, that it stays all together. Because now we have 3 layers. We have our top cotton fabric, we have the hand towel terry cloth, and then we also have this layer here that we want to sew through. So we want to match these all up, right? Like when we go and we do our straight stitch, we want them all to be lined up so that this terry towel isn't sticking out anywhere. And then let's just go ahead and give this one more. Okay, so now I can move this around freely. I could even pull on it a little bit and it's in there. It's good to go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the machine and we're gonna give this a back stitch, straight stitch all the way across and back stitch at the end. So you wanna start with the terry cloth hanging on the outside of your machine. I guess you could do it the other way with the terry cloth wadded up on this part, but I think it's just a lot easier to keep it here flowing off the edge. And then go ahead and do your back stitch, straight stitch all the way across, and then back stitch again at the end. Okay, so now let's cut off our threads here on the end. We'll take a look at our work and see how it turned out. This is such an easy and fun project, you guys. You could whip out a bunch of these just in a night, or get some girlfriends together and make them. They would make really good gifts. Okay, so look at that. So now we have the stitch, the straight stitch all the way across. And because we gave ourselves a nice 1/2 inch allowance, we have it all the way across here on the back. If you guys feel like these are really gonna get used strenuously, or you, like I said, you have little kids pulling on them, you could come through here and give yourself another stitch, you know, if you just wanna kind of extra secure it, but that looks really good, right? Nothing to it. So we're gonna go ahead and put in our snap. And today I'm using cam snaps. You can find these on Amazon. I will leave a link below of where you can get them. I like to use the ones that are a little bit more high quality, so I will definitely link them below, because you can get some that are just absolute garbage and will snap on you very quickly and not last. And what I like to do is just come through here with my awl, and I just place this down. I don't want to put the hole right on top of where this terry cloth is underneath here, like all the extra there. I don't want to put that on top. I want to go just above it. So, and if you wanted, you know, if you're at home and doing this project, you could walk over to your stove and kind of put this around the handle on your stove and just make sure it's going to fit. But I made this template for my stove, so I know it's going to fit mine. And then I just find where I want to put the hole and I poke it all the way through. Okay, so now I have a hole here and a hole here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my caps. I'm going to place it in the back. So now if I'm looking at the towel, I see the prong here. I see the sharp prong. And I'm going to take the male end and put it on top. And then I'm going to take my snap pliers and feed all this fabric through into here and get right on top. Give it a good squeeze, and now I have the male end finish. Okay. And then to do the female end, I'm going to go ahead and grab another cap, and I want to do the same thing. So here's the top cap on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and place this cap here. So now I'm seeing the male end, and I'm seeing the prong here for the female. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just give that a snap, and there you go. So these are really great, like I said, for gifts, or if you want to make a bunch for your kitchen. If you maybe have some stuff that you've liked to use up, like maybe have a bunch of hand towels that you got at a yard sale or secondhand, or they've got bleach spots, or you're just like, you know, I want to repurpose these, I want to do something with these, this would be a really great idea. So now from my other video, I have an Unpaper towel, which is reusable and washable, and I keep a big stack of these in my kitchen to grab instead of grabbing a paper towel. And there's a basket in my laundry room where I throw all the dirty ones, and then every 4 or 5 days, maybe every week, I just throw in a small load with a little bit of, you know, my fabric detergent and maybe a little bit of bleach if I feel like they've gotten really grody. And then I have these hand towels, and these are really nice just to hang from the oven. Nothing can pull them down, they can't fall and, you know, get dirty from falling onto your kitchen floor. And we've reused some things, so that's really nice. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you want to see more eco-friendly videos like this or about reusing, leave a comment below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!